unfortunately, before this album came out, one of their band members, Groggs, passed away, and
Rest in peace.
this album had been in the works before he passed away, so he was able to be featured without, like, throughout it. It is a very gut wrenching and kind of really sad album. And as Injury Reserve worked on this album, and went back to certain parts of it, adding new songs and new elements, it played into the original themes that they had when Groggs was alive, and really just added on to that with talking about Groggs' death. Conceptually, this album is really like post-apocalyptic, nightmarish, and kind of like a tearjerker in very confusing and like explosive. Not a word to just really just encapsulate how fucking left field this album is,
Yes.
but it's so original. But
Hmm.
I can't figure out how I personally feel about this project. I know there's nothing I dislike, but it's just so hard to make an opinion about something that sounds, I don't know, so new to you. It's
Yeah.
really new sounding.
So with the first track, Outside. First off, I've said this a lot of times. I am a huge battle rap fan. I love battle rap.
Yeah.
Doc, he's a battle rapper, mostly on URL TV. And I remember watching this exact bar he did the performance on. So when I heard this, I'm literally going like word for word. Because one, I think the punchline, "blow your brains on your body," fuck that mean. Maybe you should think for yourself. Is fucking crazy. Okay. When I heard that dot rapping that part, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be something hard hitting because usually, like, especially after a line like that, when you ended on when you sample that with the, you maybe should think for yourself. I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be like rapidy rap, hip hop head type shit. No, the beat that comes in sound like I'm getting abducted by aliens. Like it's it's out there. It's very have a sense of delusion in it, where it's like, yo, what's going on? What's happening here? He's like he's trying to
I
get
guess
his
that's
past.
to describe how the beats made me feel, and some of just like the overall production. How it made me feel on the first listen was kind of like I was put into a washing machine with a bunch of bricks.
See, now, I would for me it wasn't a washing machine thing. For me, it was like I just woke up from a long nap in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where I am, and I'm
But I have to start
hearing
running.
saying, yeah, I gotta, like, I'm hearing and seeing things that God didn't even let me know he dropping the new Earth patch yet. Like, there's not even a new
No,
Earth DLC
I
yet.
feel like I feel like this whole album just kind of looks like the album cover in the sense where it's like kind of like
Yes.
beautiful post-apocalyptic, like just like chaos, gorgeous chaos. It's top picks for you. That one was a tribute
Yeah.
to Groggs, and that one actually that made me cry the first time I listened to it. It's such an incredible analogy of just like our lives and the meaning of our lives nowadays. In terms of the footprint we are leaving in our algorithms, because obviously we have our senses of self, but in terms of the macro, what we really are is just another algorithm. We're just another social media account for the big industries to account for.
Yeah.
um we're just we all have our YouTube algorithms and our Spotify algorithms and stuff like that, and once we die, those are still going to be there. You're going to know our habits. Those are still going to be intact, it's just it's Richie dealing with like Groggs's algorithm still being intact, like seeing his YouTube recommended videos and knowing that he'd be laughing at this video. It really makes you kind of cynical about just our nature, but at the same time, Richie's doing it in a way where he's talking about his friend. This isn't just a metaphor for anyone that's dying in the year of 2021. This is his friend whose algorithm is still unchecked and affecting his life. And damn, that fucked me up. Like I felt sick to my stomach listening to that, man.
Look,
And it was good. It was like a mix of spoken word and rap, and it was impactful as all hell.
this does have a lot of elements of punk and post punk elements in the production. It's just very hard to listen and catch that on the
Yeah,
very
I mean,
first listen.
also similarly to the Black Country New Road album, in addition to the post-punk elements of it, they're just both albums that are really coming out of left field. They're both very experimental, and I feel like
And the
this is
structure is very abnormal to hear that
abnormal
kind of
and
structural.
unique. It's unique. It is a contribution to music today because it's something that can't be recreated by anyone.
And I feel like the mood of how they was pacing this album is like right there and right then and there they're in a very dark place, but it's very chaotic. They don't know what's going on. And the background of this album was actually they got inspired by a Jimmy Webb cover of an Isaac Hayes song called by the same of the album title name, and they wanted something avant-garde during a show set, and they came across that cover and they said let's make an album conceptual idea. And when you hear that not Jimmy's, Isaac Hayes' original version of by the Phoenix and some of the things it touched on, you can see conceptually and theme wise the album touches on it as well. And it's much more haunting, especially SS San Francisco, one of the most haunting tracks on this album.
It feels like the album was first intended to just be a representation of the chaos in the world right now, pandemic and post-pandemic lifestyle. But it kind of really goes hand in hand with like, I mean, that on the macro, but on the micro, their loss of their friend Groggs and their band member, who's featured throughout this album, but also is talked about as if he's not there. If I was just reading through this album, I would feel that similar sensation of just like pain, internal pain, and empathy, and a little bit of cynicism. But I think the delivery on the vocals and the weird ass, crazy ass, incredibly executed production is really what
Yes.
pushes that feeling forward of just of pain. Um,
And
it was hard to listen to on the first listen, and it's still kind of
yeah.
hard to listen to. I think that's the point, though.
No, it gets enjoyable with the more you listen to it though, because I
Yeah,
feel like, you said it about Deb, and I really feel like it fits here, where that the experimentation they showed here with not just the instrumentation, but the song structure and just how they put a song together, they made it. It was very experimental, very original, but I think it's consumable once you go back and listen to it again.
Whenever you hear something that's more experimental or avant-garde, it's easy to have that sort of visceral "I don't like this" type reaction. Just for any like casual listener, I didn't really have that feeling at all with this project, especially knowing the background of how Groggs had passed. And I really love their self-titled project from 2019. They're a very forward-thinking group. Like I feel like Injury Reserve with their project, it's kind of like how MF Doom is constantly referred to as your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Like I feel like there's a lot of people within the music industry who, when they hear an Injury Reserve project, it may not be like for the masses or have a ton of commercial appeal, but
the artist is the term I like to
yeah,
use.
the
Yeah.
your favorite artist might be Injury Reserve because of the way just the way they go about like making music.
I was like worried about talking about this one because it's just so hard to dissect.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like I haven't fully made my opinion yet. But I was telling Stevenson before we started the show. It's like that's also an opinion to have. Not knowing how you feel about something is a feeling that you have about something. And that's kind of why I'm excited to revisit this one. But it's not something that I'm going to do with ease or like I'm going to be eager to do every day. But it's something that's going to stand alone, and I feel like we'll stand the test of time. Where it's like years in the future, I'll want to come back. No one is doing anything like this. They have fully embraced being experimental, and people want to call a lot of things experimental that truly aren't because they've been done before. I feel like for this album, this is truly captures the essence of experimenting.
I think this is a really good album. I think this is an album where once it clicks for you, it really does click. A
Hmm.
lot of the themes, a lot of it will resonate with
Stevenson, I
you.
don't even think I'm there yet, to be honest, bro. I don't
Uh,
even know if I'm there.
oh no, I feel you because it didn't click for me until the third listen. That was literally this morning when and it's only for the first half. So the first half, I'm like, I really understand the journey they're going through, especially once I looked up the samples of the songs and really understood what the inspiration was behind it. I'm like, okay, this makes so much sense now why it starts off so dark. But one thing I do appreciate it though is it ends with really without an answer. There isn't really a sunny side to go to. They're still trying to get to Phoenix. That's just it could be interpreted as still coping with the world around them as, on a micro level, on a macro level. How algorithmic our world is, how how much chaos there's been, but also at a macro level, they miss their friend a lot. They love their friend, and this uncertainty in maybe what is next for the group and for them.
Welcome to the Traklife YouTube channel. We are the New Music Release Club. I am Dom.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Stevenson. Here's the links at the bottom of the YouTube page. Subscribe and check out more content from the Music Release Club.
Yeah, check out our album reviews. We also got live sessions, raw stream, all that good stuff right here on the Traklife YouTube page.